families that probably aren't in this room tonight, but we've heard from some of them. I heard from Barry Coates here 3 weeks ago that has a death sentence and a death warrant for something that was no fault of his own because he couldn't get a simple colonoscopy. People died.
Congressman Walorski joining me now. Thank you so much, Congresswoman. We appreciate your time. First, did you have a chance to hear what Shinseki said this morning?
I did, and don't forget, I was one of the first people to call for his resignation because of the fact that I've sat on that committee, the Veteran Affairs Committee, for almost 18 months as a freshman. I've heard enough, I've seen enough, and we've researched and learned enough, aside from the fact that the Inspector General report, that came out, to know that there's valid reasons to call for his resignation. I did hear what he had to say this morning as well.
And what he had to say this morning, of course, he talked about what he wants to do to fix this VA problem, talking about asking Congress, people like you, to give him more power to fire people, no bonuses for the Phoenix VA staff. He wants to accelerate the care to veterans who've been waiting for care both inside and outside. So does any of that resonate and change your opinion about whether Shinseki should resign?
Well, here's the thing. On the committee, we have oversight and jurisdiction over the VA. All the information we've asked them for to respond to all of these allegations that have continually come in, we've received no information. The reason we are where we are today is because the VA failed to cooperate. And we have a bipartisan committee. This is a non-political issue, and it has to stay a non-political issue. And, we've come together on the committee to work together to do what's right for the sake of right. And it's not that we're talking about little minor things here. When this Inspector General report came out, this is systemic. And when you find out that you've asked for information for 18 months, and not on individual cases here, but trends that we're developing. This report says that this is a nationwide problem, and there were people that sat around a table and figured out how to mess and manipulate with these numbers and cook these books. This is way bigger than a little tiny announcement today from a guy who's been in charge. And let me just say, I don't think any of us really know what's going to happen today, if he's going to resign, if the president's going to take his resignation. We don't know that right now. But let me just tell you and your viewers, this is step one. There is a long way to go in fixing the issues with the VA, and it's going to exceed the issue of what happens right now with Secretary Shinseki. There's a long way to go in peeling this onion back. There's a lot of layers here that need to be exposed because yesterday, another Inspector General report came out on their whole IT problem, protecting our veterans' personal and private information and make sure that identity theft doesn't come in and sweep away what they have. There are systemic issues that exceed just these health issues. But when you have deaths of our finest Americans that have answered the call, this is inexcusable, it's unacceptable, and the American people, I believe, stand with us in saying that step one has to be the removal of this leadership and bring people in, potentially even from the outside, that can fix the largest hospital network that we deal with in this country.
We know what you want to see happen inside this White House meeting that nobody is privy to, and we do know that Secretary Shinseki has arrived, is meeting with the president, presumably, as we speak. We know what you want to see happen there. What do you think is going to happen in this meeting?
Oh, well, I'm hopeful that we see right done for the sake of right, and I'm hopeful that there's a resignation today, and I'm hopeful the president brings somebody in that can literally, with a sense of urgency, get right to the heart of this issue and drill down and be honest with the American people and restore the faith and confidence to the VA that they deserve to have. There's all kinds of great workers and employees in the VA, but you know what? We're in a situation right now where there needs to be an urgency like you would for a 5-alarm fire, where everybody rushes to the scene to save people and make sure this doesn't happen again. And simply on Wednesday night, when we had the hearing that went till midnight, there was no urgency, even from the folks that were in there testifying on that night. And that's one of my biggest concerns. We all understand we're working together on this, and politics is not in this issue. We're standing as Republicans and Democrats asking for the president to do right for the sake of right of our veterans.
All right, Representative Walorski, we really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to continue to wait to hear what comes of that meeting between Eric Shinseki